Misleading slogans, weird panaceas, dangerous demagogues emerged from the unrest of the times. Senator Huey Long of Louisiana, kingfish of the Share Our Wealth program, which promises to make every man a king. His following grows into a movement of millions, and political prophets warn, if Roosevelt fails, the man is waiting who is ruthless, ambitious, and indeed plausible enough to Hitlerize America. Power for power's sake is Long's mastering God until he is assassinated. The Reverend Gerald L.K. Smith, Father Charles Coughlin, Dr. Francis Townsend. On their own or together, they woo the frustrated and bewildered. Dr. Townsend calls his cure-all the Old Age Revolving Pensions Program, and he claims 5 million followers. And Father Coughlin, the radio priest, wins millions more for his National Union for Social Justice. By a miracle of illogic, he combines anger against bankers with fear of communism, and from time to time attacks other convenient scapegoats. Gerald Smith of Louisiana, heir of Huey Long and rabble-rousing competitor of Father Coughlin. His program is a net for bigots and fanatics. Says the Reverend Gerald Smith, I always talk loud. He is right, and many, too many, listen. Hyde Park on the Hudson, a different voice. Franklin Roosevelt relaxes and in his brief off hours manages his estate and collects stamps. A traitor to his class, his enemies call him. From this responsible patrician background, he has launched his sweeping program of Social Security based on a concern for his fellow man. To his supporters, he is a privileged gentleman who has dedicated himself to the service of the people in the tradition of Thomas Jefferson, Woodrow Wilson, and his own distant cousin, Theodore Roosevelt. From his mother's family, he has inherited the tradition of seafarers, a high-hearted love of the water, of sailing and fishing. As a small boy, and later in summer holidays from Groton and Harvard, he sailed. Golden, carefree days when he read naval history and dreamed his dreams. In the First World War, as Assistant Secretary of the Navy, as vice presidential candidate in 1920, as governor of New York, he never lost touch with the sea and ships. Now, as president, he returns to his past, the spray of salt water, the far horizons, in the company of his sons and his friends. Is a cripple. Infantile paralysis deprived him of the use of his legs at the age of 39. But for years, he has found relief in the mineral waters of Warm Springs, Georgia. His wife, Eleanor, writes that his illness gave him strength and courage he had not had before. He had to think out the fundamentals of living and learn the greatest of all lessons, infinite patience and never-ending persistence. He is the first to become a commanding figure in world history without the ability to walk. But though a cripple, he is no invalid. The President of the United States knows what it is to suffer, and to those who suffer, he is a humanitarian, a friend.